How you doing, guys?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Doing well. Happy that you guys got to play a little football today. It was super fun to watch. Just being out there, obviously it wasn't the normal game day experience, but how did it feel to put the pads on and have some type of a game day atmosphere today?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of fun. I mean, being able to put on the pads, go full contact, you don't get an opportunity to do that a whole lot during a camp. So, and again, not your normal game day atmosphere, but I think our guys did a really good job of bringing their own energy. So we made it a lot of fun, ran some trick plays in there. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was just to piggyback off Ty said, like, the energy was there for it to be, like, completely empty. And I think just being able to play some type of ball in this pandemic, and especially seeing, like, other conferences around the country being able to have seasons, just being out there was just fun and exciting for everyone.
And Jaharie, you had the final touchdown on the day, I believe, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You did. Can you kind of walk us through that play and describe to us how it felt to get in the end zone?
So, like, that whole drive, I was actually, like, cramping up in my left calf. So I'm like, come on, like, we got to get in there. And then, like, the previous play before, so you saw we had a busted play with fumble snap. And then, like, the play before that, Ty actually stuffed me on, like, the two or 3 yard line. So I'm like, we got to get in here. Like, so my offensive tackle, Connor Wood, he's telling me, like, hey, I know the play's going this way, but I'm on the backside. I'm like, all right, I got you. Pre-play, I'm already thinking, like, I'm finna go up top. Like, they're gonna go low. They coming in high. I'm finna just go up top. I go to jump. Nobody hits me like I planned on it. So I'm like, dang. So
I think we should ask him if he fell.
I stick the landing on my left leg.
We should ask. That should be one of the questions in this interview, is if his knee was down before that second jump.
I stick the landing on my left leg, and I reach the ball out. I'm looking at the ref. He's like, touchdown. So yeah. So I was pretty excited about that.
Love it. Love the energy. And Ty, for you, what do you feel like were some of your strengths personally today, and then just as a whole, your team?
I think one of my strengths overall is just tackling, being a consistent tackler, keeping my leverage, running through my leverage, and just being that guy on the defense who's going to tackle, anyone and everyone in the open field. That's kind of my mentality. As a group, and I want to say for both sides, as a defensive back, I was really proud with the limited amount of explosives that we gave up, as well as our tackling as a unit. So yeah, overall, I think that was really cool to see, just as a older guy in the defensive back unit. That was really cool to watch them not give up too many explosives and wrap up when they tackle. So that was good. That was a good strength of ours.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Colton Poole, why don't you go ahead and I'll see if I can. I don't know what I'm doing here. Colton, go ahead.
All right, Jaharie, just give us your impression of your running backs group as a whole. Not only you and not only your team, but just the other backs that on the other team. Just what do you think of your position group today?
I feel like me and Elijah Elliott, 13, did pretty good with the workload we were given. I didn't get a total ton of carries, but I was happy to be out there and block for him and seeing him get his tough runs. To be that small of a guy and running like that, he's pretty explosive. And as far as the other side on the goal team, I think they had a lot of good plays. Lane Sumner ran very well today. He was had a lot of yards out the contact today, and so I think overall we played very well today.
And Ty, you already talked about your defense as a whole, but getting those takeaways, especially in interceptions. Just what do you think of your secondary and being able to defend the pass today?
I think Jeff made a phenomenal play. He read the quarterback's eyes on that interception. We've seen that out of him throughout the entire camp, so I'm not surprised by that. He's an amazing player, and I love playing next to him. Just overall as a defense, as you can see, the white team came away with the win, and who had more turnovers, So it was one of those things where if you can steal possessions, especially how we had that running clock, that's a super big deal to steal possessions like that because there's not much time in the game. So that was a big deal.
And for both of you, just, how do you, because obviously this is just such a weird time, but how do you feel like, getting these practices, getting this scrimmage sets you guys up for a spring season? Do you feel like these reps will play a factor, once you guys actually do get to play?
Yeah, I think this definitely will play a factor. I think we're the only big team in the Big Sky who's actually like doing something like this. So just having this opportunity to continue to build this chemistry that we couldn't really build in the summer because we had like guys out quarantining and stuff, and we couldn't really do a regular fall camp. So I think this kind of brought us together even more, and will definitely give us a leg up in the spring against our competition.
No doubt. I agree with that. It also gives us a little bit more look at our depth, and going into the season, we kind of saw playmakers arise. So it gives us a little bit more answers into that. So I think that camp helped with that.
All right, that's all I got. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Coulter Nuanez, you got anything?
Yeah, sure. Hey, Ty, were you on the field for the last couple plays during the 2-minute drill?
I was not, no.
Okay, so watching that, though, what'd you think of the stuff the defense was able to come up with? And kind of fitting that it ended in an interception.
Yeah, no doubt. I love the red zone mentality. I think once you get down into that low red, it's really just summer weight training versus summer weight training, and you got to kind of put your money where your mouth is. So that's fun as a defensive player. You know, again, we pride ourselves in being, you know, the run stoppers first, and then we take care of the pass. And, you know, you see what happens when you take care of the run and they get down to that low red and they have to pass it and you bring pressure. That's just really cool to see the other team, although it wasn't mine, come up with a stop. So that was nice to see.
I know when it comes to your guys' defense, you lose some premier defensive linemen, lose a couple of premier safeties, but the group that probably returns the most intact is the linebackers. I thought the inside guys particularly looked good today. What'd you think of the inside linebacker play?
Phenomenal. I mean, on my side of the ball, I had Cal and Jobman. Jobman had an interception. Cal, you already know he's going to be flying all over the field, making tackles. So not surprised by their performance whatsoever. And as a safety communicating with Cal and Jobman, I really appreciate their knowledge of the game, and it makes it a lot easier for myself.
And Jaharie, similar question. You go against those inside linebackers quite a bit. Those are the guys tackling you. Those are those guys you're blocking. So what have you thought of their performance just over the last couple of weeks as a whole, as a group?
Yeah, those guys are the real deal. Like Dahman, he was like one of the first people to give me like a welcome to college hit when I first got up here. So like those guys are real life thumpers. They get sideline to sideline and they just make plays. As far as the white team backers, we had Nolan and Danny Yu. I'm just say Danny Yu because I can't pronounce his last name, but they get sideline to sideline as well. They have a good nose for the ball. You saw Danny had a pick today, and so he's just a ball hawk. And so I think that's what we need to get that spark to our D. So I salute to those guys. They play hard.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coulter.
Paul, do you have anything?
I think my questions were asked, so I think we're good.
Anybody else have anything?
I have one quick follow-up.
Go for it.
So what do you guys have any plans in the off season? Do you kind of know your schedule at all as to what that will look like? And if not, how will you maintain this momentum going into the spring?
6 a.m. Monday morning, bright and early.
We're starting our 6-week training block. We're getting right to it.
Getting big, getting swole.
Yep.
Love it. Love to hear it. Thank you.
No.
We good?
I have a couple follow-ups on that note then. I mean, it's been weird you guys haven't been able to be in the weight room nearly as much as you would have been in the off season. I know you guys are both big weight room guys and made a lot of progress in that area. So how nice will that be to be back in the weight room, and how motivated are you headed into the weight room right now?
The talk around the locker room is they're hyped up we're all hyped up to get back in the weight room. I mean, to your point, we lost that time over the spring, and we're getting that 6-week training block back. And that's when we gain a lot of power, gain a lot of weight. And so guys are excited. They're actually itching to get back into the weight room.
Yeah, to piggyback off what Ty is saying, like, I remember just talking to my roommates and like, man, we were like spring, like we were like getting beefy, we were getting faster, getting stronger. So like everybody's excited to just get back and just throwing some weight.
Last question, Ty, the fact that you guys did get this full session in, is it possible to take momentum from what you guys accomplished the last couple of weeks? And if so, how do you get that done headed into the offseason, into the spring?
I think we just continue to do what we've been doing in terms of meeting as position groups, taking the time to continue this bonding. We do things outside of practice as a team that brings us closer together. So I think if we continue to do that, some leadership meetings, I think that's kind of a way that we can really carry this experience, this camp, into the spring season.